So, we're diving into this interview titled Crimea a River. And it's just a wild mix of political commentary, right? It throws in hashtags like moats, Alaska, and even hints at Zelensky watching the Alaska summit so closely he got frostbite in his vitals. It's
Yep,
like a provocative snapshot of today's geopolitical narratives.
absolutely. It's that sort of commentary that makes you stop and think um, whether we're looking at humor, sarcasm, or a deliberate political jab at the West and Russia. It all seems tangled up, yeah?
Mm-hmm, exactly. You see, George Galloway is challenging the mainstream narratives by comparing Crimea to, well, a river. It's like he's implying that history and territorial claims are fluid, like water flowing, constantly changing courses.
Right.
And then you add in those hashtags that almost serve as a sort of meme commentary on current events.
Yeah, and there's this line West believes Russia is nothing but a gas station. I mean, that's pretty biting. It seems to reduce the complex geopolitical strategies down to just crude economic comparisons. Doesn't that strike you as oversimplified?
Sure, it might sound oversimplified, but it's deliberately provocative. Think of it, it's like reducing an entire intricate foreign policy to something as mundane as a gas station.
Exactly.
It forces you to reflect on what underlying narratives might be manipulated by all sides in the conflict.
Right? And then there's this commentary about no ceasefire because Russia is winning. That's a bold claim, isn't it? It almost suggests that the conflict's dynamics are so fluid that even a ceasefire might be seen as a concession.
Yeah, it kind of challenges the conventional wisdom. It's like, why settle for a pause when you're dominating the game? But then, you know, such statements are bound to stir up reactions from both sides, especially since they mix humor with grim reality.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the comparison of Crimea to a river. I mean, what do you think is the intended symbolism there? Like, is it a nod to historical fluidity or more of a sarcastic jab at how borders are redrawn?
Oh, it's like um, both, maybe? It's like saying that the course of the river doesn't follow the neat
Yes,
lines that
right.
maps give it. And in a similar way, Crimea's territorial status is portrayed as something that's not fixed. It's always shifting with political tides and narratives.
That makes sense. But don't you think that this approach risks trivializing serious humanitarian and strategic issues? I mean, comparing a contested territory to a mere river could seem a bit dismissive of the real suffering involved.
That's a fair point, and I think the interview intentionally walks that fine line between satire and serious commentary. It almost feels like a call to question how mainstream media and political elites frame these conflicts.
Agreed. And then there's the mix of hashtags like Alaska and references to NATO and Zelensky. It creates almost this mosaic of interlinked global issues. It's almost like a social media collage of modern geopolitical buzzwords, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's like each hashtag is a little flag planted on the narrative
Right,
battlefield.
yes.
They serve as shorthand for complex ideas, NATO's involvement, Zelensky's role, and even the critiques of Western policies. It's a compressed language of modern protests.
I really appreciate that nuance. But at the same time, don't you think this eclectic mix might sometimes confuse the audience? Mixing satire, meme culture, and serious political convictions can result in a narrative that's a bit all over the place.
True, that's where someone might argue that the interview sacrifices clarity for shock value. It's like trying to make a compelling argument while also appealing to the online attention span. But it could be argued
Yeah,
that
indeed.
complexity and confusion are tools in the arsenal of political discourse these days.
And let's not forget the production elements. You know, the way the video's description mixes humor with biting commentary, like the reference to stenographers for NATO. It's loaded with irony.
Exactly. That phrase almost paints a picture of bureaucratic absurdity. Imagine stenographers frantically noting every word, but in the end, they're just part of a grand, ironic theater of war reporting.
Yeah, really
It
creative
almost makes
imagery.
you see the larger picture of media theatrics in modern conflicts.
And the title itself, Crimea, a River, stands out as a sort of minimalist provocation. It's just three words yet it carries so much weight. Like, it's intentionally vague, prompting viewers to dig deeper into what it all means.
Exactly. It's like an invitation to reinterpret and challenge the status quo of narratives we get from mainstream sources. But it also opens the floor to misinterpretations. Its brevity is its strength and its potential pitfall.
Right on. There's this interesting tension here. The interview simultaneously appeals to those looking for a counter narrative while possibly alienating audiences who prefer straightforward analysis. It's a daring gamble, wouldn't you say?
Definitely a gamble. It's like navigating a minefield with a catchy slogan, but that's kind of the point to stir debate and make people rethink what they think they know. It
Absolutely.
challenges the comfortable narratives on both sides.
It also makes me wonder about the role of platforms like YouTube in shaping these debates. With video descriptions like this, the blend of sarcasm, political commentary, and meme culture really shows how the internet's shaping our political discourse today.
Yeah, it's like YouTube becomes a battleground for narratives where personalities like Galloway use humor and controversy as tools.
I hear
It
that.
democratizes but also complicates how political messages are delivered and received.
And speaking of delivery, the production style, with the mix of live commentary, user comments, and trending topics, adds layers. Even if some of it seems hyperbolic, it forces us to confront the complexity of modern media messaging. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure. It's like a kaleidoscope of geopolitics, where every turn reveals something new. A provocative statement, a hashtag, or a loaded comment on NATO
Right,
or
exactly.
Zelensky. And while it might seem chaotic, it's almost a mirror of the real life complexity of international conflict.
That's a neat way to put it. But I gotta say, I do question whether this style effectively informs or just entertains. Sometimes I worry it might overwhelm viewers with its rapid-fire mixed messaging.
I get that it's a valid critique. It's like walking a tightrope between engaging satire and serious critique. But then again, perhaps that's the new frontier of political discourse. It forces everyone to
Absolutely.
constantly sift through layers of meaning.
And in doing so, it perhaps encourages a more active interpretation from the audience instead of just passive consumption. It's engaging, even if it leaves you with more questions than answers.
Exactly. It's reminiscent of how modern debates are less about clear-cut answers and more about the process of questioning established views. That's what makes this interview, with all its eclectic hashtags and bold commentary, so intriguing.
Right, yes.
It invites us to question the narratives handed down to us.
And it really ties back to the idea that in today's media landscape, even something as simple as a title, Crimea a River, can pack a punch. It's a sort of intellectual provocation wrapped in a three-word statement.
It's like art meeting politics in a very modern, meme-inflected style. You get layers of irony, direct political commentary, and a touch of humor, which really reflect the multifaceted nature of today's global discourse.
Exactly. All in all, it's a fascinating blend, provocative, humorous, and deeply political. Whether or not one agrees with every point, it certainly makes you pause and reflect on how narratives are constructed online.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that even in these brief, almost ephemeral online presentations, there's a lot to unpack. It pushes us to re-examine the power of language and symbolism in framing geopolitical debates.
Yep, for sure.
And it leaves the audience with a sense of curiosity, a spark to look deeper into today's complex narratives.
Right. It's like a call to not take things at face value, to question every story, every tweet, especially when it's wrapped in catchy phrases and controversial hashtags.
Exactly. And that tension between clarity and provocation, between artful satire and serious debate, is what makes discussions like this so vital in our times. It might not give you all
absolutely.
the answers, but it sure challenges you to think more critically.
In the end, whether you're a fan of the outright provocative style or you see it as a bit of an oversimplification, there's no denying it sparks conversation. And that's what truly matters in our modern media ecosystem.
Well said. It's the kind of content that Makes you want to dive deeper, ask more questions, and really engage with the contradictions of contemporary
Yes, indeed.
politics. And that's been a really engaging conversation to have.
Yeah, definitely. I think this sort of provocative and layered commentary is exactly what keeps the discourse fresh, even if it means stepping into a bit of uncertainty along the way.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating reflection of our times, complex, unpredictable, and always challenging the established narratives. Thanks for diving into it with me. These are the discussions that
Right on.
really make us think.